Assalamu alaikum dear students. Let's continue the topic optics from your 11th physics. In the last lecture we had seen reflection and refraction, Snell's law and all that. Today we are going to study a very important concept and very interesting too, total internal reflection. Before studying this total internal reflection, two things that you'll have to keep it in mind. We all know that whenever light ray passes from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal, and whenever it passes from denser medium to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. So again here we have taken two medium into account. Let us consider surface of a denser medium. Consider this surface X and Y. It is a surface of a denser medium. Above the surface XY there is a medium 1 which will be considered as a rarer medium, and below the surface XY there is a denser medium. Denser medium you can consider anything, glass or water. I'm not specifying over there that the denser medium is glass only. You can consider any kind of denser medium over here. For the sake of convenience, let us consider that this denser medium is a glass. Now, let us consider a source of light is placed inside a denser medium. See the point O. It indicates the position of source of light, and we all know that if you take a point source of light, it will emit a light ray in all possible direction. In this concept, we are going to take only those light rays which are moving in a forward direction, or you can say along a positive X direction. So that's only we have taken. Now let's see a ray of light. Obviously from point O there will be a many light ray emitting from point O. So let us consider the first one. Very first one is a ray of light OA. OA is a ray of light emerging from O. It will strike the surface of a denser medium at point A. So you can say that this ray OA is the incident ray. So here, as I told you that both the mediums are transparent, medium 2 and medium 1, they both are transparent. The only difference between them is one is rarer and the other one is denser. So when this light ray OA strike the surface XY of a denser medium, what will happen? So first and foremost thing, we just see what kind of incident it is. I think this ray of light is completely normal or perpendicular to the surface of a denser medium. So whenever there is a normal incidence, what will happen? The light ray will not it will not suffer from any kind of deviation. It will emerge like a straight ray only. So this light ray, some of the light ray will pass inside a rarer medium. So in this way the light ray can move from denser medium to rarer medium, and when the light ray is perpendicularly incident on the surface XY or along the normal, it will emerge out as a normal only along a normal line. So here you can say that angle of incidence means angle between, if you draw a normal at point A, so the normal and both the rays will coincide with each other. So angle of incidence means there is no angle between the angle of between the incident ray and the normal. There is no angle between the refracted ray and the normal. So the light ray will pass as it is. So here you can consider the example of a straight pencil. When a straight pencil is kept perpendicular to a water containing glass, glass containing water, it will appear straight only. When the pencil is going to appear broken when it is placed tilted, it is slightly placed tilted. So here there will be no deviation from a straight line path whenever light ray incidents normally to the surface of a denser medium. Here angle of incidence is 0, angle of refraction is 0. So now let us consider the second ray emerging from the point O. Second ray of light is OB. It will incident on the another point, say point B. So let us draw the normal. This blue color line indicates the normal drawn on the point B. So when you draw the normal, you will come to know that this ray of light is making certain angle with the normal inside a denser medium. Let this angle be I1. Angle of incidence is I1. And since the light ray is passing from denser medium to rarer medium, obviously both the mediums are transparent, so there will be a certain part of a light ray. This light ray, incident light ray OB, is going to divide into two parts. Some part will be reflected back inside the same medium, while the remaining part is going to transmitted inside the another medium. So here this incident ray half part is reflected back and the half part will suffer from a refraction. So here the angle of incidence I1, see how it is taken, it is very small, but whenever it passes from denser medium to rarer medium, light ray will bend away from the normal, so hence it will emerges out like this ray. So angle of refraction, here R1 is the angle of refraction we have taken, and remember that this R1 will be greater than I1 because the light ray is passing from denser medium to rarer medium. Similarly, when you take the another succeeding ray, the ray which comes after it, let us consider the third ray over here. That ray is OC. Here also some part of C is the point of incidence over here. Draw the normal on it. Measure the angle of incidence inside the denser medium. Let I2 is the angle of incidence at this time. So when the angle I2, when you measure it, you'll come to know that this I2 is greater than I1. Means this angle of incidence is greater than the previous one. Now obviously this ray is also going to divide into two parts. Some part of this light ray is going to be reflected back inside the same medium, while the remaining part will be transmitted. So as the angle of incidence increases, angle of refraction also increases. So see here, this light ray will move more away from the normal at this time. So this R2 is the angle of refraction. When you compare this R1 and R2, you will come to know that this R2 is greater than R1. Similarly, when you go on consider the successive rays of light, at each and every time you will find that this ray, refracted ray, is going to move more and more away from the normal. And finally the time will come when this ray will graze the surface. So let us consider that point. Consider the fourth incident ray emitting from point O. Let this incident ray be OD. Point of incidence is OD now. Angle of incidence here we have taken. Let this angle of incidence be IC. Why it has been given another name that we will come to know afterward. But let this angle of incidence is IC. And this IC is greater than I1 as well as I2. So let us see what happened when the light ray incident are at this point D. At this time the light ray will bend more away from the normal, where the light ray move from the rarer medium to denser medium, it goes on moving away and away from the normal. The time will come when it will come like this. It will just graze the surface. So here we have taken that time only. At this particular incident ray, you will find that this refracted ray will come along the surface of a denser medium. What about all this point A? When you observe it from outside the from the medium 1, when you are doing your observation from medium 1, you will come to know that point A is having a refracted ray, so this point will be bright to you. Point B will also appear bright to you. Point C will also appear bright to you, because the rays of light, refracted rays of lights, are going to censored by your eye retina. Now this fourth one, what will point A is bright, point B is bright, point C is bright. What about the point D? See here, the refracted ray is along the surface. This entire surface will appears to be glowing because the entire ray is along the surface. So, and what is the angle between normal and the refracted ray? This angle will come to be 90 degree. Obviously, the time will come when the angle of refraction will become 90 degree. For this particular specific ray, our angle of refraction is 90 degree. Now what will happen for a ray of light which comes after it? Means the ray of light which comes after the ray OD. Let us consider that ray also, OE. OE is the ray of light, and obviously when you take the successive rays of light, you'll come to know that at each and every point angle of incidence goes on increasing. So angle made by the ray OE is also greater than this IC. What is the speciality of this angle IC? Angle IC is the angle of incidence in the denser medium, for which the angle of refraction is 90 degree. So that is why it has been given another name IC, and this C is for critical angle. So this IC is called as critical angle. Now after the angle IC, when you are taking another successive ray OE, it will strike the surface at point E. So you all know that some part of it is going to be reflected back in the same medium, and the remaining part will be transmitted. Let's see what will happen to the refracted ray which is going to come out of the medium. See here, as the angle of incidence is 90 degree for the previous ray, this time the angle of incidence will be greater than 90 degree. So at this time the refracted ray will also come inside the denser medium. This is the refracted ray which is coming inside the denser medium, and it appears to be as reflected ray. So total part of a ray of light is now going to come inside the same medium. That is why this process is called as total internal reflection. And this point A will not be bright. Point E will not be bright because there is no light coming outside the medium. So this process is called as total internal reflection. How you are going to define, once you have studied the entire phenomena, how it has been explained, but how you are going to define this process, total internal reflection. We all know that this is a refracted ray, but the angle of refraction is greater than 90 degree. That is why it seems to be coming back in the same medium. Hence we will say that this is the reflection of light, though it is a refracted ray. So how you are going to define it? There are two conditions for the total internal reflections to occur. Very first condition is the light ray should pass from denser medium to rarer medium. This is the very first condition. Second condition, see here, the angle of incidence for the total internal reflection, it should be greater than the critical angle. So taking these two conditions into account, we are going to define the process of total internal reflection. It is whenever light ray passes from denser medium to rarer medium, if the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, then the total light ray will be reflected back in the same medium. This process is called as total internal reflection. So it is very simple and very easy to understand how the total internal reflection occurs. Application of this process is omitted. We are going to see its application in a very short period. We are going to see it. We are not going to give it more time to the application because it is omitted, but we are going to study it. So again I am going to define this process. Here we have taken one source of light inside a denser medium. We have taken multiple rays of light emitted from it. Very first ray that we had considered over here is OA. It is normally incident, so it will be normally refracted. Angle of incidence and angle of refraction will be 0. Second ray of light OB, again whenever light ray passes from denser medium to rarer medium, it goes on moving away from the normal. So R1 is greater than I1. Similarly, we have taken the third ray OC. Here the angle of refraction will be more than the previous one. So R2 will be greater than R1. See, as you go on taking successive rays of light, you will come to know that this ray goes on moving more and more away from the normal, and the time will come when this refracted ray will just graze the surface. So let us consider that ray for which the refraction angle is 90 degree. We have taken another successive ray OD, and this angle of incidence is taken as IC because the angle of refraction for it is 90 degree. So this angle is called as critical angle, and the ray which comes after this critical angle, it will have more than the angle of it will have more value of angle of incidence as that of critical angle. So I is greater than IC this time. So whenever angle of incidence inside the denser medium is greater than the critical angle, the total light ray, no light ray is going to move out of the denser medium. All the light ray will be reflected inside the denser medium only, and that point will appears to be dark point. So this process is called as total internal reflection. Let's define it again. Whenever light ray passes from denser medium to rarer medium, if the angle of incidence inside the denser medium is greater than the critical angle, then all the light ray is going to come out inside the same medium. This process is called as total internal reflection. Now let us consider the concept of critical angle. Let us consider this part of the diagram. Here we have taken one incident ray for which the angle of refraction is 90 degree. Angle R is 90 degree. See, the angle of incidence IC is taken inside the denser medium. So let's define the critical angle also. Critical angle is nothing but the angle of incidence in a denser medium for which the angle of refraction is 90 degree in a rarer medium. So let's have a short derivation of this critical angle. We all know that refractive index is having the formula as per the Snell's law. Formula for the refractive index is mu is equal to sin I upon sin R, where sin I is the angle of incidence in the rarer medium and R is the angle in the denser medium. But as per the diagram, angle in a rarer medium is R, and angle in a denser medium is I. So we are going to change this formula, refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 as per this diagram. We are going to write it as sin R upon sin I, because angle R is there in rarer medium and angle I is there in denser medium. Now we all know that R is having the value for this particular specific ray. For critical angle R is 90 degree if I is equal to IC, whenever you consider the ray OD. So I, angle of incidence, is IC and angle of refraction is 90 degree, and we all know that sin 90 is 1. So you just substitute sin 90 over here, you are going to get 1, and at the place of angle I you can write IC. So formula for the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 will become 1 upon sin IC. Now sin IC is equal to 1 upon mu, where mu is the refractive index of a denser medium. Now taking this sine function to RHS, you are going to get IC is equal to, this sine will come, when it comes to the RHS it will become inverse. So IC is equal to sine inverse of this quantity 1 upon mu. So formula for the critical angle is equal to, so IC is equal to sine inverse of a reciprocal of refractive index. So when you take, let us consider the example of a glass. We all know that refractive index of a glass is 1.5. When you substitute this value 1.5 over here, you'll come to know that critical angle for the glass comes out to be nearly equal to, approximately it is equal to 42 degree. So any ray of light, if this is a surface of a glass, if the angle of incidence in a glass is less than 42 degree, you are going to get the process of refraction. Each and every ray of light is going to come outside the glass. But whenever angle of incidence is equal to 42 degree, you'll come to know that refracted ray will make an angle 90 degree and it will graze the surface. And whenever angle of incidence inside the denser medium is greater than 42 degree, when it is greater than 42 degree, you'll come to know that all the light ray will remain inside the denser medium itself. There will be no refraction of light, or you can say there will be a refraction, but all the refraction ray, but the angle of refraction is greater than 90 degree, and this angle will be obtuse angle. So in this way you can define the process of internal refraction. And you can define the critical angle. So far we have considered only two concepts. So let us define these two things. We have studied the internal reflection. I am again going to define it. Whenever light ray passes from denser medium to rarer medium, if the angle of incidence in a denser medium is greater than critical angle, then all the light ray is going to come inside the denser medium itself. This process is called as total internal refraction. Now second thing is the critical angle. Critical angle is the angle of incidence in a denser medium for which the angle of refraction in a rarer medium is 90 degree. And we have seen the derivation of this critical angle also, that IC is equal to sine inverse of reciprocal of refractive index. So this was the definition of total internal reflection, and we have completed the derivation of critical angle as well. So the critical angle is sine inverse of reciprocal of refractive index. Hope you'll have understood the topic. Thank you.